It's time once again for the adventures of Jimlock McQuick and his trusty companion, Dr. Badass. As we last left this intrepid pair of investigators from Portland Yard, they had indeed found the victim quite dead. Live music with the crowd was no longer around. The halls, the venues were a lonely creek. Only the ghost of the hallowed souls who plied their trade on the grand stages remained. They knew what. Now they had to find out why. And more importantly, who.
Well, Jimlock, live music with the crowd is dead for sure. But who would do such a dastardly thing? I mean, in broad daylight.
Yes, Badass. Who indeed? Perhaps we should make a little journey back in time to the last time this was attempted. A dastardly act can only be done by dastardly persons. So that narrows it down a bit. But unfortunately not by much.
Back in time? Don't suppose you have a spare time machine lying about?
Of course not, my good doctor. To get to the past, we need to bring it forward. Come on, it's getting late.
Bring it forward? Sometimes I worry about you, Jimlock. McQuick, why are we at this Savoy Theatre in London?
Well, of course. This is the famous theater that ran exclusively Gilbert and Sullivan operas for years. But that almost died, and their partnership was on the verge of ending completely in the 1880s.
Good heavens, why?
Quite simply, Badass. Sullivan needed a new musical direction, and the operas that they were doing were just not cutting it for him anymore.
But they went on much more longer than that. I mean, how did they get back together?
In a word, humor, a farce, filled with a song and a disguised critique of the British ruling class. Set in Japan, called The Mikado.
Oh, yes, The Mikado. That's one of their most all-time favorites. It still plays on now. But how does that solve our case?
Elementary, my dear Badass. Let me play a song from that opera, a tune entitled Titwillow. On a tree by a river, a little tomtit sang willow, titwillow, titwillow. And I asked him, Dickie Bird, why do you sit singing willow, titwillow, titwillow? Is it weakness of intellect, birdie, I cried, or rather tough worm in your little inside? With the shake of his poor little head, he replied, Titwillow, titwillow, titwillow. He puffed out his chest as he sat on that bough, singing willow, titwillow, titwillow. Then a cold perspiration bespangled his brow. Willow, titwillow, titwillow. He sobbed and he sighed and a gurgle he gave. Then he plunged himself into that billowy wave. An echo arose from the suicide's grave. Titwillow, titwillow, titwillow. Now I feel just as sure as I'm sure that my name is in willow, titwillow, titwillow.
that was blighted affection that made him exclaim, Willow, Titwillow, Titwillow. And if you remain callous, obdurate, I shall perish as he did, and you will know why. Though I probably shall not exclaim as I die, Titwillow, Titwillow, Titwillow.
Oh, McQuick, that was brilliant, but what does it mean?
It means, my good doctor, that we are in a similar situation. Things have gotten much too serious, and music can't survive without humor. In fact, life itself can't survive without humor, without an ability to poke fun at the absurdity we call modern life. We go crazy.
Well, I've been feeling a little loco-hooku myself lately. So, who killed live music with a crowd?
Well, who indeed?
You don't mean Doctor Who, do you?
Yes, badass. That is exactly what I mean. Doctor Who.
Well, Doctor Who is certainly diabolical, but how did he take humor away from us?
Well, my good doctor, that is to be divulged by our subscribers-only podcast in our next edition. If you act now, in the next 60 seconds, we're offering you an exclusive membership to the McQuick and Badass podcast exclusive channel, as you've never seen them before. Shirtless and sarcastic. Call 1-800-WHAT-THE and be sure to use code effing A.
Well, Jim Locke, you know, I've been working on a little number myself lately. Would you like to hear it?
Sure, yeah. Just let me go get my pipe and my stash, and you might need it. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just warm up a little bit, and then when you come back, I'll show you my number, okay? All right, I'm going to warm up here.